So what you do is you get oil. Where's it gone? Oh yeah. You get oil and a oil brush. I think that's what it's called. And you just put a bit of oil. You put some oil in one pan, and then you put in another. And then you get your brush and you just spread the oil all around the tin, even on the rim, because if the bread, like if the dough rises over the side, you don't want it to be getting stuck on the rim, because then it will just be ruined. And it needs to be oiled really well, because otherwise the dough will get stuck on the bottom, and then it will take the bread out of the pan and half the dough will still be in. So you really don't want that. So once you've oiled, you just oil your tins very well, basically, and then yeah. Sorry if it's clanky for you. It's a clanky job, oiling. So yeah, and then you put your oil thing just to one side, and get your dough. You just roll it out like that with your hands until it's about the length of your tin, and then you just dump it in. Spread it out a bit if you want. Don't rip. Make sure it doesn't rip. Right. So make sure the dough doesn't rip, because you don't want that. And then you put this dough in, and then, gosh, there's loads of oil. Yeah, and you just do that, and yeah. Once you've done that, this is when you get your scissors, and then you snip your bread. Sorry, and you snip your bread in 3 slits diagonally across it. Not all the way though, because otherwise the bread will just fall apart. And then you spread it all out. So you like separate the 2 bits, so the slits like that, because then it won't have bad slits. You do that in all of your loaves, and then yeah, so you don't want the slits too deep, but you do want slits, if you know what I mean. You don't just want lines. Yeah, so then it should look like that, and then once you've done that, you make that thing called egg wash, and it should look like that. And just remind you how you do it. You get the 1 egg, break it, put the whole egg apart from the shell into a cup or whatever you want to put it into. Get a fork and just whisk it around with a fork until it looks like a orangey liquid. Then you clean your brush and then wipe it on. For the egg wash, you just get a oil brush and get the liquid and just rub it on top of your bread and rub it in the slits. What the egg wash will do is it kind of makes a nice crust on the bread, so it's not like a really thin crust. So you don't have to do this, but it's a lot nicer and like crunchier, if you know what I mean, if you do. Okay, and you do that on all of your loaves, however you're making, and however many you're making, and do all over the top, and then that should create a nice crust for eating with. Okay, that's all for the egg wash. Should look like that, and then you just leave that for another hour covered, and then leave it for an hour and then put it in the oven. I'll tell you the details for that later. Okay, so have the temperature at 230 degrees and put it on a conventional oven or a fan oven, and then put them in for 20 minutes, and don't forget about them, otherwise they'll burn. After 20 minutes, take out of the oven. Leave in the tin for about 5 minutes. Then turn onto a cooling rack, tap the bottom of the loaf and it should sound hollow. Then it's done.